Hello yogis, welcome to yoga with me, HeidiRosi. And today we're going to slow things down a little bit and just do a few postures and hold them for about 10 to 20 seconds a piece. And and it's just a great way to kind of get into the body. Hopefully this is something that you can incorporate into your morning routine or evening routine. So with that, go ahead and find yourself at the top of your mat. Ground down through the soles of your feet. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Taking a few moments to center yourself. Rooting down through the soles of your feet and reaching up through the crown of your head. Big inhale, blinking the eyes open, sweep the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, Utkatasana. Tuck the tailbone under here, engage your low belly. Breathing here, activating your arms, squeezing those fingertips, lifting, lengthening. One more, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward over your bent knees. Interlace your hands behind your back. Begin to slowly straighten your arms. Maybe those knees stayed bent. Maybe you begin to straighten your legs. Breathing here wherever you're at. Inhale, slowly begin to lift the torso. Release the fingers down to the earth. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Ground down through the right knee. Right top of your foot meets the mat. Inhale, sweep the heart and chest up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Arms are lifted and engaged. If that's too much, you can always place your hand down on your forward thigh. So right now our left thigh. Couple breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, bring both hands down to meet the mat around your left foot. Tuck your right foot under, lift your right knee up off of the mat. Ground down through the right palm. Inhale, lift your left arm towards the sky. Lift your gaze towards the sky. Breathing here. One more inhale wherever you are. Exhale, release both hands down to the mat. Ground your right heel down. Bring your right foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Slowly begin to straighten that left leg. Left hand to your shin or to the earth as you inhale. Now lift your right arm up towards the sky. Breathing here, Trikonasana, triangle pose. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale, bring both hands to the top of your mat. Widen your stance of your left foot. Take your left foot wider to the side of the mat. Right foot comes to the right side of your mat. Sink your hips down. For Malasana Yogi Squat. Creating a bandha. So a bandha is a lock. So creating a bandha between your elbows and your knees. So you're pressing into your knees as much as your knees are pressing into your elbows. Slowly plant your hands down onto the earth. Step both of your feet back to the back edge of your mat. Inhaling in high plank and exhaling here. Engaging your quads, tucking the tailbone under slightly. Firing up your core. Breathing here. Really important, make sure you spread those fingers nice and wide. Takes the strain off of your wrists. Bend your elbows slightly, hug your elbows in, roll onto the tops of your feet while in plank pose. Very slowly begin to lower your hips closer to the earth. Lift the heart and chest for upward facing dog. If this is too much on the low back, drop the hips and knees down. One more inhale here. Use that core strength. Lift your hips up, untuck your toes. Step your right knee forward to meet your right wrist. Lowering your hips down for pigeon pose. Left toes untucked. We're going to stay elevated today in pigeon pose. A lot of times we surrender. But today we're going to just keep that torso lifted up. Thinking about rooting down through your pelvis. We're not leaning to the right. We have a nice even weight distribution here. Ground down through both palms. Untuck your left toes. Lift your hips so you can step your right foot back to meet your left. Find your way into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, step your feet to the top of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Big inhale, sweep the arms, rise all the way up. Wrap your right hand around your left wrist. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent to the right. Inhale, lift. Take the left hand around the right wrist. Exhale, crescent to the left. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees, sink your hips, Utkatasana chair pose. Tuck that tailbone under, engage your core. Activating your arms, finding a little internal rotation in the arms. So imagine drawing those pinkies in as you lift the palms up. Breathing here. One more inhale. Slowly as you exhale, fold forward over your bent knees. Interlace your hands the opposite way, not your natural lace, behind your back. Slowly begin to straighten the elbows. Maybe you begin to straighten the legs. Few more breaths wherever you are. Very slowly begin to bend your knees, relaxing the arms, releasing your arms down to the mat. This time step your left leg back behind you. Left knee grounds down, untuck your left foot. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. If the arms up overhead is too much, again, you can place your hands on that right thigh. You can also bring your palms to your heart center. If the arms are lifted, again, think about activating those arms, finding that internal rotation. Exhale, release both hands down around the right foot. Untuck your left toes. Lift your left knee up off of the mat. Ground down through that left hand. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Maybe your gaze follows your right fingers. Remembering not to sacrifice that lunge in your right leg. Keep that nice deep lunge there. Exhale, slowly release the right hand down to the earth. Ground your left heel down to the mat. Left foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right hand finds its way to the right shin. As the left hand begins to lift and the right leg begins to straighten. Trikonasana, triangle pose. It's a really hot and steamy day here today. One of the reasons why I chose to slow things down. I'm just sweating just sitting out here. So, but not complaining, enjoying it. I love the difference in weather everywhere, all season long. One more inhale wherever you are. Exhale, both hands down to the earth. Heel toe that right foot towards the right. Step your left foot up nice and wide. Sink your hips down for Malasana Yogi squat. Again, we're activating those bandhas. We're finding that lock. We're also engaging our core here, tucking our tailbone under slightly. This is Zeus Cat that is joining us today. He's one of my parents' barn cats. And I think we got him in like 2007, so he's kind of an old man. Breathing one more breath. Exhale, plant your hands down. Lift your hips just enough to step back into high plank. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Engage your core. Breathing here. Plank pose is a very strong pose. So welcome if there's anything that's shaking. And let your body be here and let it absorb whatever it is that needs to shake, whatever needs to strain. Think about lifting your kneecaps away from your shin bones and engaging your arms. That low belly is drawn up and in. One more inhale. With your exhale, begin to untuck your toes. Very slowly bend your elbows as your hips release down towards the floor. Should feel nice on the abs. One more inhale here. Exhale, lift your hips up. Untuck your toes. Bring your left knee towards your left ankle, left knee towards your left wrist, excuse me. Go ahead and untuck the right foot, drawing the hips down for pigeon pose. Again, we're going to stay elevated. So we're thinking about a nice even weight distribution between our hips. Sometimes we sag to one side. So thinking about squaring those hips. Fingertips are on the earth or maybe your palms. Breathing here. Tuck your right toes under, press into your palm, send your left foot back to meet your right. Lift those hips all the way up and back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees nice and wide. Balasana, child's pose. Resting your forehead down onto the mat. Closing your eyes and breathing here. Letting yourself surrender and let go. Feeling supported under your palms, on your shins, on your tops of your feet. Giving into this space. And giving into this moment. Inhaling slowly, rising up to hands and knees. Keeping the eyes closed if you'd like. And sitting back onto your heels. If sitting on your heels is not a comfortable posture for you, feel free to take Sukhasana, cross-legged seat. Bring your palms to touch, resting your thumbs at your heart center. Bowing into your strength. Bowing into your light, your beauty. Bowing into the dedication that you have for yourself to roll out your mat and to practice. Lifting your thumbs to your third eye. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. And I look forward, as always, to sharing your practice, to share my practice with you in the future. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Again, my name is Heidi Rosie, and I hope you enjoyed this practice.